Dave knows how.
Welcome back to the channel. In this video, something a little different. Not really tractor related, but I thought you guys might enjoy it anyway, because I know a lot of us tractor guys, if you're a tractor guy or a tractor gal, you end up doing all sorts of things. And right now I've got a trailer load of tires. And I've accumulated these tires over the years, and I went to take them to the dump. And generally our local dumping station, or transfer station as they call it, will accept tires, and they charge about $2 a piece per tire as long as it's off the rim. If it's on the rim, it's $5 per tire. So I loaded these up, had them all loaded up. It was a lot more than this, and took them down there, and they said, oh wow, we don't take that many tires anymore. We'll only take 5 per household, and they can only be passenger car tires or smaller. Won't take any truck tires, won't take any oversized tires. Like some of these I have here are 33-inch tires and 35-inch tires. They won't take them. So I had to turn around and come back home and decide what to do with all these tires. There is a place that will take them, and they charge a fee too, but I'm not sure how much it is. And if it's on a rim, it's going to be more. So I'm thinking now, maybe I need to get the tires that are on rims off rims. And I don't want to fight these with a crowbar to get them off. I'm just not into that, okay? I don't have a tire changer, and I'm not going to pay somebody to take these tires off the rim. So I went online and I looked up, thinking about building a tire shredding machine, quite honestly. And I thought, well, that'll be neat. I'll build a tire shredding machine and shred these tires up. And then I started to get more information about it. I decided, you know what, that's more than I want to tackle right now. So I 86 that idea. But in looking for that, I've seen a couple videos on tire shredding and disposal, and one thing that I found out is they typically cut the sidewall off, unless it's a machine that you can throw the whole tire in and it just gobbles it up, which is super nice but super expensive. They typically cut the sidewall off both sides of the tire, and then that makes the tire more manageable. So I decided to look into cutting the sidewalls off of the tires that are on the rims, and that way I can get the rims out. By cutting the sidewalls out, I get the rims out, and then I can recycle the rims as scrap metal, or I can keep the rims. I mean, they're not bad rims. They're not expensive rims. They're just steel wagon wheel rims is all they are. They actually went on the Jeep, from the Kubota backhoe versus the Jeep, where I destroyed the Jeep with the backhoe. That's what these came off of, that are on the rims. So anyway, like I was saying, I found a video by Adam Johnson, and in the video, Adam shows cutting the sidewall off of a tire by hand with a razor knife. And he cut that sucker off by hand. Now, I'm not sure if I'm up for that, but I don't know. I don't think I'm up to that. But in part 2 of his video, the latter part of the video, he shows using I think they call this a isolating saw. It doesn't saw this way. It's not a circular saw. It's not a jigsaw. It actually isolates back and forth just a little bit. And he managed to adapt a razor blade to it by welding the razor blade onto an existing blade for this type of saw, and he cut the sidewall off. I tried that. I welded a blade onto an existing saw blade. Let's jump over here to the other camera and I will show you what I ran into when I did that. Okay, so this is an existing blade, and I know it probably doesn't look like a blade, but this is a type of blade that goes on that saw. And here's the razor blade, and basically I welded this razor blade on here just like he did. He TIG welded his, and he MIG welded his, and I TIG welded this one on there. But what it ended up happening was, on the blade, on the razor blade, the heat affected zone made the blade more brittle, and it broke off. Well, you know, that's the story I'm telling. You know, it broke off because it was brittle. It didn't break off because I got overzealous and tried to go 100 miles an hour around that thing like a madman and snapped it in half. So, with that said, there is a learning curve to doing this. If you go too slow cutting, the blade heats up, it starts to melt the rubber, and it gets sticky and nasty, and it smokes and it stinks and it's icky. If you go too fast, you're probably going to break a blade. So there's a window in there of speeds that you can go, and it's a pretty broad window. You just can't go really super slow. You got to get on through it. So anyway, when you break a blade and it's welded on there, then you got the weld to contend with. It's got to be ground off, and it's just a lot of aggravation. So I built an adapter that fits on a blade on a isolating saw blade, which is the blade that comes with the saw. It fits on there, and in turn it holds a razor blade. So we're going to use that, and we're going to cut this tire, this 33-inch tire, off the rim today. Let's see what we can do with it. So here's an isolating saw, and that's kind of how it works. We've got the blade in there, and we're just going to start up here and cut this tire off up here first. Okay. Then we're going to go again up close to the rim where the bead is, and there's a piece of steel in there, but it's down in here pretty deep, so we could actually get kind of close, but we don't want to hit the steel rim and dull the blade. Okay, so now we got sidewall off. Move the cord out of the way. We'll go ahead and flip this over. And then cut this side. And then right here. All right, so there we go. Now we've got the tire off the rim. You know, at this point now, the sidewall can just go in the trash can. And in fact, we could just crunch this down and put it in the trash can too. And it'd be gone. Now, it's not going to cut across the tire this way because, I mean, we all know this thing's got steel belts in it. But there doesn't seem to be any steel belts in the sidewall except for close to the rim where the bead is. Anyway, let's take a look at the adapter that I built, and then you can see how it's made. So here's the saw, okay, and you can kind of see the blade in there. It comes out on a 90-degree angle, and we just drop that thing down there, pull the trigger, and cut like that. You can kind of see the configuration of the blade. This is a blade that you buy at the store. It's got the cutting teeth on the very top of it, and it goes down in there like that. And we've just added this apparatus right here. So the way I've got this thing set up now, we can just loosen these two bolts and then pull this out and flip it over and stick it back in there, and we got a fresh new blade to cut. So let's take a look at what went into making this thing. So these screws we're using here are just Allen cap head screws. They measure quarter 20, quarter inch with a 20 threads per inch. And these screws I bought were 3/4 of an inch long. They probably could have been shorter, a little bit shorter. They probably could have been 1/2 inch, probably would have done it. But I bought 3/4. Now this is the blade that typically comes in here, and it's made to cut wood, as you can see. It cuts right on through wood. And basically what I did, I drilled 2 holes in it to go through these 2 pieces of metal. Now these 2 pieces of metal right here, these are like 1 inch wide, 1.25 to 1.5 inches long, just long enough to fit down on top of this blade like that. It's about 1/4 inch thick. It's made out of aluminum, so it's very lightweight because I didn't want anything that was going to add any weight to the end of this blade as it's moving. Both sides of this one is smooth. Now the bottom piece is a little bit different. It's made out of the same material, 1 inch wide, 1.5 inches long, 1/4 inch thick. But I did cut with the milling machine a slot for this blade to set down in. And all that's really doing is it's keeping the blade from going this way or this way. Once it's clamped together and it's the bottom of the blade and the top of the blade is trapped in that slight groove, and it's a very subtle groove. It's not much, because I needed the pressure of this being screwed together to actually hold that blade and keep it from sliding out, you know. Honestly, you probably wouldn't even need to cut that slit. You could probably get away without even having that slit there. Just 2 pieces of flat metal. And then the hardest part would be drilling these holes through this blade. This blade is, I don't know what kind of steel this blade is made out of, but it's it didn't drill very easy. So it's probably like a spring steel or something like that. It just, you know, I mean, it drilled all right, but it just didn't drill very easy. And I screwed up when I drilled it, and the drill bit kind of skated to the side, so I missed my mark. I did center punch it before I drilled it, but the center punch more or less just bent the metal instead of, because it's not very thin. I mean, it's not very thick. It's pretty thin stuff, and it's, like I said, it's almost like a spring steel, sort of. I don't know. But anyway, that goes in there, and then we just tighten this up on there. And then she's ready to go. All right, so, hey Daisy, what you doing, girl? You come over here to say hi? Did you come to say hi? She's such a sweet girl. She's a honey, that girl is. Yeah, she's a honey. So I gotta be a YouTube star, right? Like all the other YouTubers out here. Yeah. What you want? Is it supper time? I think she's trying to tell me it's supper time. It's always supper time for her. she likes to eat. I just took her to the vet, and she's 45 pounds overweight. She's developing arthritis, and she's got a bad skin rash right now. I got her on medicine for that. Hopefully that's gonna get her cleared up. I don't know. It's not looking real good, so she may have to go back to the vet again. But she's a sweetie. She's worth all the trouble that she is. She's definitely worth it. She is one loyal thing. Well, anyway, I guess that's about it for this video.
Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.